Playoffs are here! Welcome! The RavenCourt goes into the next phase of the tournament. So, as mentioned, we had 6 teams that made it into the round robin. Round robin has been fully played out. Team Skogh took first place and Team Ultralisk took 4th place. And I explained this a little bit before, but what basically happened in the round robin is that we not only determined the standing and the order in which the teams will go up against each other, but also the teams that finished 5th and 6th place, they get dropped into the losers bracket directly. So right now we are in the winner bracket of the RavenCourt playoffs. The number 1 seed, which is Skogh's team, goes up against Team Ultralisk, who came in 4th. And now we're looking at best of 5 matches. So keep in mind that for the draft, it's still important to note that you can only pick a hero once within a series. In the best of 3 format, that didn't really... Well, I think it affected it a little bit, obviously, but nothing crazy happened here. There's a lot more that can happen in a best of 5 format, always, of course, assuming that we're going into game number 4 or game number 5. Now, we'll see how it goes. These 2 teams have obviously already met in the round robin, and back then, the team in blue, Skogh's team, they were able to take down their opponents with a 2-0. So, we'll see if Ultralisk and his boys have stepped it up a little bit. They also ran into a bit of a problem, so I have to say that I'm absolutely ashamed for my countrymen here once again, because again, punctuality and reliability are key things in our culture as the Germans, and apparently Darkmoke wasn't to be found, so they called him on the phone and he didn't reply, and I don't know what he's doing, but he's not here. So they're at least in game number 1 subbing in Drag here, who is now going to play for them, playing on the account Dark Reader here. So we'll see how all of that's going to work out for them. Not a bad sub by any means, obviously, but generally speaking, you want to play, you know, with your normal offlaner there. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe he's also just late, driving in traffic. I don't know. Could be here for game number 2. Time will tell. But right now we're focusing on game number 1. We're on RavenCourt Pass as our first map. And we get Bishops immediately with Hanzo. It's like, yeah, I have only 1 chance to get my Hanzo in. So Hanzo can only play it once. Let's make this thing in game number 1 right away. Pretty good pick for them, obviously, too. Brightwing in the Haka. So we're going global, baby. Yep, they have 2 globals already. Leaves us, generally speaking, with the birdie. So we have Falstad right now. And the question would just be if anybody is going to pick it up on RavenCourt Pass, if a Nubarak is going to be taken to try and cheese the prisoner camps a little bit, or if somebody goes even deeper into the rabbit hole with that particular strategy and picks Samuro, for example, which we have also seen from a fair amount of players on RavenCourt Pass in particular for the reason just mentioned. But we get Diablo, we get Rhaegar. Bit more wave clear through the support now too. And they targeted Ultralisk with banning Maiev. Now Karrigan is still up. I gotta say though that Ultralisk, his team didn't do as well as I thought. They came in 4th place. Generally I had them pegged a bit higher than that. And I also felt that in a lot of the games where he played Karrigan, he just wasn't able to have as much of an impact as we are normally used to from him. Now he had some spectacular Karrigan games, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't this thing where you see Karrigan on his team side and you're immediately thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be a bloodbath. So a lot of the times when they played Karrigan, they just couldn't get that momentum that they really needed and fell a bit short of expectations. So we'll see. Now Sylvanas also banned out. Most of these will eventually appear in the series, or at least I would assume so. Particularly when we're talking about someone like Sylvanas, unless the teams are comfortable banning her out the entire time. So this is game 1. You could still go into Genji. We don't get an Anduin combo, of course, since both teams have already picked their support, but technically you could still go for Genji and try and get some damage through with him. Go Shimada against Shimada, but they go triple global. Damn, they really want to go for it right now. They're going full global here. Murder with a bit mobility too, but damn, big map obviously. In order to make that work, they gotta really knuckle down on all of this, so time will tell. I want to say a little bit curious, because triple global these days is usually not... I mean, you are a bit on the squishy side with Falstad and also with Brightwing. I would not be surprised to see somebody with a lot of mobility now coming up as the second damage dealer. And yep, there is Tracer, so she's going to start chasing Falstad in particular. We get Uriel together with that, so Diablo Uriel already very, very strong frontline. And Let's see if that works for Team Ultralisk. I gotta admit that I currently have my doubts, but I would be more than happy to be proven wrong here. But organizing all of that, we'll see. Okay, first map in the best of 5 is about to start. We get Greymane as our final pick here on Ultralisk Pass for Team Ultralisk, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading into game number 1. Okay, game number 1, I got good news. Apparently, Darkmork arrived, so they only needed Drag here for the draft, but now they have Darkmork here, so everything's Gucci. On the left side, in game number 1 of this best of 5 series, we have in blue team Skogh with the man himself on Diablo. We get Hunter Orc on Rhaegar, Gavlon, Tracer, Bishops on Hanzo, and Max Passion is playing Yrel. On the right side of the map, Team Ultralisk with Ultralisk on Falstad, Kelvin on Brightwing, Death Knight on Mirrodin, Lopaka on Greymane, and Darkmork is playing the Haka. So, good stuff. Now, Darkmork is therefore back. We still have the triple global, obviously. The draft didn't change. Very curious if this works for them. It can be very powerful on a big map if you have a triple global lineup, particularly, of course, if you have very good communication and can run circles around your opponent with your macro strategies. But it's not really easy to pull off, and if you start losing a few heroes to mobile assassins, like, for example, Tracer, then you're very quickly running into trouble. And team fights might become a problem. So, something to keep in mind here, too. Already Mirrodin with another jump, another hit, and yep, that dwarf is going all in on this. First Stormbolt has arrived. It's hammer time. We have double hammer time, by the way. We got the man up at the top too. Gavlo with the pleb horse. That's a little bit unfortunate, but okay. Down to the bottom of the map, still our 1 versus 1 lane has also been set up. Teams are obviously going straight for the camps here. They're chasing Tracer a little bit topside, but generally just the early game motions from both sides now. Trying to get those camps quickly as they can. Lopaka in particularly is of course going to be quite helpful there and is going to do his thing. And yeah, let's see what they can do. By the way, remember when I was ranting about Diablo 4 the entire time, about how I was pissed that Blizzard doesn't play their own games? Apparently the viewer numbers of Diablo 4 have now dropped so much that it's even behind Heroes of the Storm. That is crazy. It's absolutely insane. Very satisfying too, because it seems that the majority of the player base agrees with that sentiment. I have seen very little positive feedback regarding the game, at least when it comes to long-term playability. But yeah, it's kind of bonkers. Blizzard is a bit bananas there, so it's nice that there is a reaction and that people are responding and just showing them, okay, listen, this is not something that we will just simply accept. What's funny in the context of Baldur's Gate 3 too, not a game that I play, it's not really my type of game, but obviously people were extremely happy with it, had very good numbers, and I loved how some developers were just just clawing their way out of their holes and just complaining about how people cannot expect games to be good. They cannot expect games to actually be good and finished when they get them, because this sets an unrealistic standard. Like, yeah, how about you take a nice key of shut the fuck up and maybe just try and improve their games a little bit and listen to the player base. How about we start there? Not every game has to have as much content as Baldur's Gate 3, but a certain standard would be nice these days, particularly from AAA companies. But yeah, so again, not really a whole lot happening just now. When it comes to the objective, we finally have it on the map, but normally, of course, given the lineup that we have, there's no Samuro, there's no Nuburak, so nobody that isn't going for an easy cheese on the prisoner camp. So traditionally, the teams would start focusing on it somewhere between level 7 and level 10, depending on the flow of the game. But as I say it, they're actually going for it fairly early. Now, level 7 is around the corner, but still, this is an extremely early move into the prisoner camp from Team Skogh, who are, of course, clearly the favorite, given past results in the round robin. So we'll see what they can do here. Another quick Stormbolt from Death Knight, but not hitting anything. And eventually, this attempt for the objective is, of course, going to be stopped. Grunts have already taken care of it. But there's only 11 seconds missing, so this was maybe just a small poke, but it did a lot here. I really liked it. So I didn't expect that. was actually much more beneficial to them than I initially thought. So yeah, good move. Again, normally those happen a lot later, but here we had it. Tracer is met by a quick Storm Bolt to the face. Fairly unimpressed by it. And with that, level 7 talents are in, so we get the totem build of Rhaegar continue, the synergy between the level 1 and level 7. Hanzo going full into his scatter arrows, as you can see here, is also going to help with boss control later, but the first real team fight is now breaking out as the teams are again starting to make a bit of a move. And off we go. So, another hit, Kelvin, low, and there it is. First blood as Brickwing gets slapped around hard. Yeah, oh, and they get Greymane too, so they get a quick double kill. They're trying to go for Ultralisk here, and they're also trying to go for the rest of the team, particularly the front line. Murden is getting eliminated, and that is not only a triple kill, but they will also get the objective on the back of that. And Darkmook is also under pressure. This is a great start for Team Skogh. Now, again, these two teams have met. Skogh's team won it with a 2-0, and they are the #1 seed in the standings. And honestly, mainly because Madara's team kind of messed up a little bit. Those were still the 1 and 2 seeds, but it is going to be super interesting to see if Skogh can just march through this. Because they're closing in on level 10, just as the cavalry spawns, which means that we will see them push with a level 10 advantage and the objective. Now, the first one normally doesn't really do all that much, so you don't... Traditionally, you don't get a fort with a first objective. Let's just put it like that. But arrow into Apocalypse attempt doesn't quite work out for them. But they are doing some solid work here in the middle. And down at the bottom of the map, I guess we're gonna get one fort destroyed. And even here, they're doing just an incredible job. They already took down the Haka. They are putting some hurt onto the fort. Won't be able to take it completely. But, yep, there it is. So, with that, let's see what else we're getting. Another little attack is currently coming. Straight for that fort. I guess we're going to get 2 even destroyed, or at least they're getting close to it. It's like, damn, son. So, yeah. That was quite the first objective. The stars aligned. The stars aligned perfectly for them, of course. And I guess we are going to get a move for the boss now as well. First, the Haka has to take this one out, but they're already assembling down at the bottom of the map. They're really going for all the hits here. Oof. Murden might double check, but look how quickly they're burning this bad boy down. So even if Murden sees it, and he already changed his direction, damn, they're really coordinating this so well. One move leads into another. Great calls from them, also guarding all of this. Now at the top we have another play being made by Team Ultralisk trying to do the same thing. But honestly, it doesn't really matter what exactly the blue team does. They're going to get value. They're going to attack this, but they could have also just simply gone for the mid lane and taken that fort down. This, on the other hand, is a bit of a problem. So yeah, Yrel falls. It's a 4 versus 5, but this is still not a guarantee. Oh, nice combo. Nicely done. Perfectly aligned for the Haka. So they're trying to dissuade them from getting that boss, and it seems like this is going to be successful. Nobody is going for it. Even with Yrel lost, they're able to make that work. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Good job. And while all of this happened, the boss at the bottom of the map is doing damage here. Now, this is very early in the game, and not even at the 10-minute mark, so gotta keep that in mind. This thing is not gonna destroy the keep. But they are opening all of these lanes up, they're softening up slowly, they're shutting down any attempt by Team Ultralisk to break through that chokehold that they got them in now. So, yeah. There we go. But, again, we have in the middle Yavlo doing his move. And all the way up at the top, still the attempt to go for the boss and pick up the second one. And it seems with a level 13 talent and a full 5-man on the map, Skogh's team is more than confident that they can make a move here. Yeah, and then they gotta throw out the Ancestral for Hanzo. They haven't given up on it yet, though. So they didn't give up on it yet, and they're still poking this out, but the level advantage and the talent lead in particular are obviously playing a huge role here. And the lanes are being pressured. There's camps that are being escorted in, particularly this mid lane camp is, of course, always super strong. And if nobody takes care of it, it will very likely end with another fort being destroyed. Apok! Oh! Another wombo attempt, and now they take Ultralisk down. Falstad is dead, and so is that fort any second now. They're going for Death Knight. He also gets obliterated, and that is now 2 forts destroyed. Falstad killed, 6 kills to 1. They are absolutely crushing it. Looking very, very good. That's actually looking fantastic for them. Making a statement in game number 1 goes a long way here. Of course, we are looking at best of 5s. Anything can happen. We've seen multiple, I mean, we've seen tons of comebacks in the past. Full setbacks of teams that were leading with a 2-0 and reverse sweeps coming in from the opposing team. But this is looking very, very good for them, at least here. And this, of course, breaks the spirit a bit too. Lopaka nearly got away, but now they're taking all of them down. They're taking no prisoners here. Team Skogh going through the opponent like hot butter through cheese. The only victim seems to be Rega, but they're not even stopping. They're just continuing, taking the birdie down. And just take a look at this fight and the engage again. So, yeah, there they come in, take him on, and initially they got away, then Urel says like, you know what, we're gonna kill both of you. So Greymane and also Brightwing, they both fall. They go for the objective again, boss gets taken at the same time. They're all over the place. Now you gotta be careful that you don't spread yourself too thin. You don't wanna try to hit too many things at once and then getting punished for it. But they are still doing work here, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Diablo might fall here. And he didn't really have to, so Diablo is down. And yeah, that's a problem. Tracer had to abandon the move for the boss at the top. So this is exactly what I just said. They wanted too much. They wanted the objective and they wanted the boss, and now they didn't get either. So yeah, that's the issue a little bit. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, particularly with Brightwing on the other side. She has no travel time, can immediately Z in, and that's exactly what she did. But that's pretty much what we're getting here. So, the attempt at a counterplay, but now level 16 talents are on the board, and now we got domination after the devastating charge. Diablo becoming even more of a problem. And yeah, they use it immediately to start chase down Death Knight and try and kill Muradin, which they couldn't really do here. So, yeah, another quick hit by Urel. Haha, they got him on the ropes. Death Knight. Oh, the chase is on. And they're getting Greymane. Greymane is gone, Brightwing is dead, and while all of this happens, we still have that bottom 4 taking damage to the minion wave. We have another camp here in the middle. It's been a while, by the way, since Team Ultralisk took their own mid lane camp. Always a problem if you're not able to do that. And they go for the objective again, and at the same time, they go for the boss. And honestly, this time, it's probably gonna work out for them. We'll be shocked if they don't get this one. Better late than never. At least for the red team, we're gonna have level 16 in time, so they can make their own play then and try and stop all of this. But it's 12 minutes on the board, so the objective is gonna hurt a lot more right now. In addition to that, we're having another arrow. No, that's the worst moment to lose your heroes. Muradin gone for another 40 seconds. The top fort is already dropped. This is not looking great for Team Ultralisk. They are in some serious trouble here and will very likely lose multiple keeps now and maybe even the game. I mean, the way that they're picking up the Haka here puts them into a real bad position, and the Brightwing gets also just murdered. And now the bird is dead. Yeah, you can kiss that one goodbye. That's GG right here, right there. First armor shield is already removed. They're going to the top to remove the next one. The boss isn't dropped yet either. Down at the bottom of the map, the cavalry is going to take this one out. This is game, 100%. Muradin is back, but he can't do anything about it. 2 armor shields are already removed, and as you can see, this is lights out in game number 1 for Team Ultralisk. Skogh and his boys, they make a statement. It's not only a victory, it's a statement they make on Aldrich Pass, and that is the lead in the best of 5. GG! Nicely done by the blue team in game number 1. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Battlefield of Eternity, our second map in the best of 5 series. So, Ultralisk's team on Aldrich Pass, not successful. It's probably the understatement of the year. They kind of got murdered a little bit there. again, Skogh comes in as one of the top teams, currently #1 in the standings. We're now in the playoffs, so now we're in the actual tournament phase. We're in the winner bracket right now, semis, and so far, so good for the blue team. They want to, of course, sweep this with a 3-0 and make it quick, reach the winner bracket final. We currently have Maiev again targeted, so it currently seems like they're just trying to shut down Maiev. They haven't banned Kerrigan earlier. Maybe on Battlefield they're going to change their tune, or if at any point we're heading into Infernal Shrines, that might be another map where they're just saying, okay, Kerrigan, we don't want to face off against her here. But they're not too afraid of her, as it seems. More worried about Maiev, at least for now. But who knows, maybe they're still going to hit her with a ban. There's of course Sylvanas to be considered here now on Battlefield. Keep in mind, heroes can only be played once within a series, so now we don't have Hanzo anymore. You can still play Vala if you're looking at damage against the Immortal. Greymane is out too, so that's another one that's usually very good here. Chromie can be played, Li Ming can be played if you're looking for damage from afar, but particularly Sylvanas and Vala I would expect to get some attention here. And Sylvanas as a first pick, so doesn't come as a shock. First pick also for Team Ultralisk, so another thing, they went in and said, okay, we want to have first pick after losing game #1. Let's go to the next one here. And yeah, let's have a look of what we're getting on the other side. What exactly are we going to get? Ah, okay, Genji. Didn't even think about him. And there's Anduin. Talked about the combo a little bit in the setup of game #1, but now we have it here too. And yeah, let's have a bit of a look and see what they can pull off with that. Particularly the squishies on the red team side are of course not going to like that too much, but ooh, I like that reaction. We have Uther and Skogh, so an Uther main tank together with Skogh. This makes it a little bit annoying for Genji to engage, because whenever he dives in deep and Uther's around or Skogh, the lurking arm can come out, you can stun him quickly. So this is already making Bishop's day a lot harder. So initially it's like, awesome, I got Anduin in here, I'll get the light bomb, let's go for it. And now instead he has to be quite careful that he doesn't just jump into a stun and then gets murdered. So has to be a little bit careful with this. Also, while we're heading into the next game, guys, once again, as you can see down here, big shout out to everybody supporting the stream on Patreon. I keep saying it, without support on Patreon, we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be commentating Heroes of the Storm anymore. So big shout out to everybody that supports the stream over there. Really appreciate it. And again, you guys make all of this possible. So big thank you. And if you're interested to help out, you can head over to patreon.com/Khaldor and check it out for yourself there. Garrosh banned, which unfortunately means we're not getting Garrosh and Zarya, which I still like. I still like the race car Garrosh. I still love them whipping around with this. So nobody's going to get it, at least in this game. We've had actually a fair amount of times now in the RavenCourt, in the games here. Chromie, talked about it earlier. Max Passion is busting out his Chen. Obviously loves to play Chen, so here on Battlefield he gets an opportunity to do so. We're going to get some top keck plays from him for sure. And we still need to wait for Skogh as our main tank. But we also need, first of all, an offlaner for the red team, but we also need Ultralisk to make a choice of what exactly he wants to play. I kind of want this to go to game #4 at least, because I would love for Darkwong to play Illidan at some point again. And there he is. Didn't think he would bust him out this early. So this is a lot earlier than I expected Illidan to make an appearance. But yes, we have Imperius and we got Illidan. This is actually one of those games where I think if Bishops could switch his hero, he would probably go for his Cassia instead on the map. So they have another blind against Illidan, that he can stay a little bit farther away. Just keep playing that poking play before he engages. So a very interesting comp now. Skogh also with Jojo, that gives us a bit more control against Illidan. And yeah, with that we're set. Illidan against Fat Illidan. Let them eat cake. Battlefield of Eternity, game #2. Let's go. Team Skogh is in the lead with the 1-0. Now we're heading into the second map. We have the man himself, the captain, on Johanna for the blue team. Bishops is playing Genji, Gavlo and Chromie. We got Max Passion on Chen, and Anduin is played by Hunter Orc. On the other side, though, we got Death Knight with Uther. Again, he is doubling as the main tank here. Ultralisk on Imperius. Darkmok. Feel the hatred of 10,000 Stormly games. And with Illidan, Kelvin on Skogh, and Lopaka is playing Sylvanas. All right. Let's go. Well, level 1. Oh, we already have a fight over here. And we have a dead panda. That is panda abuse. I mean, honestly, I understand that Team Ultralisk wants to pander to the audience a little bit, but this is just the wrong way to go about it. So, yeah, taking Chen down, this is just not okay. The Chinese are not amused, by the way. So, yeah, not cool. But the panda is gone. He'll be back, though. And that is first blood this time for Team Ultralisk. So, nicely done. We get for our boy Illidan Immolation as a level 1 choice. A little bit more Waveler on the sides here as well. And of course, they're now roaming the map and trying to get some damage done with this. There's another tower that goes down at the bottom of the map. Illidan is starting to chase Chromie up at the top. Shouldn't really be the biggest problem, but Gavlo, well, as I say, I thought he'd go for it. Darkmok, what happened to you? Guys, I'm telling you, Darkmok got old. Darkmok got old. The Darkmok, back in the day, he would have gone for that kill. He would have been like, I don't care if I die. There's a kill and I'm gonna get it. So, yeah. But I like this way that they're playing the game a lot more than what we've seen in game number 1. It was a bit weird to just see them go for all of these globals and play it. You know, obviously, it would be kind of funny if they would be the first team that finally goes for that strategy that I've been talking about the entire time, you know, where you take heroes in the first map away that you just don't want your opponent to have access to later in the game. Maybe they're saying like, hey guys, these kids are so good with globals, let's just take all of them away and risk losing game number 1, but then in the games that follow, they can't play them anymore, and boy, are we gonna murder them then. This is one of the approaches I never understood in Meta Madness, that some of the weaker teams don't do that, where they just take the opponents, or where they just take an entire role away. I always thought that a fantastic strategy for Meta Madness. I mean, this obviously is not Meta Madness, these are not proper Meta Madness rules. They took some of the rules from my tournament, the rule that you can only play a hero once, but there's no pre-bans. But for Meta Madness in particular, I never really understood why there are not some teams that are fully aware that they're the weaker teams that just don't, for example, in game number 1, pick 5 supports. Just so they can't be played again. To remove an entire role or in a series, in a match, and then let chaos reign. If you know that in a straight-up game your opponent has an edge over you, I think this is an absolute valid strategy. And I'm shocked that to the day, after we've been running now 7 Meta Madness, nobody has ever used that. I really think that that would be a great strategy to just give it a shot, particularly when you go up against the top dog in the house, for example. But be it as it may, we now have level 5 for both teams. First objective is up, so we're going for some immortal damage. We got the Hunter's Onslaught here now too. And yeah, a little bit of poke from Chromie from a distance. And down at the bottom of the map, Illidan has to quickly take care of the situation with a Shaman camp that has been sent their way. Top side, it is still active. But they're also... It's a pretty nice exchange and damage on the Immortal. And it's actually the blue team that loses the halftime show. So a much, much better start than what we've seen in game number 1. It's looking way better for Team Ultralisk now. And they are going to win this Immortal race from the looks of it. Yeah, so you can limit the damage a bit, limit the shield, but this is still a very good opening for the red team, particularly considering that they have already taken down some of those towers. And they got Sylvanas. They're even continuing this at the top by taking another tower down before the Immortal has even spawned there. So, not looking too shabby. They might get the entire thing here. I actually don't see a reason why they wouldn't, particularly since Illidan is already on the way. Fat Illidan isn't here yet. Chen is still at the bottom of the map. Yeah, and Darkmok is trying to annoy them as best as he can, and also distract, of course, slightly. Level 7 is in, and they have to give this one up. That fort is gone. Fort is gone. We got Friend of Foe on level 7. Chen stays at the bottom of the map. They're just gonna give it up. I am, if anything, surprised that Chen even moves towards the top lane. I could have seen Max Passion just stand at the bot lane a bit longer and try and take a tower down here. But either way, that was a very good first objective for Team Ultralisk. Great start for them into the game. And thanks to the rotation, Sylvanas is now starting to do some damage down here. And Bishops, yep, that's exactly what we talked about earlier. The stuns from Uther, so he stands there a bit too long, gets protection out. Does not swift strike away, maybe was still on cooldown, but gets caught by the rotation. And the plays that we're now getting from Team Ultralisk are on a completely different level than what we've seen in game number 1. Way better. 2 kills to 0. And yeah, there we are. The interesting part to me is honestly that when we're looking at experience, the teams are still very close. Very close. And we can take actually a look at it. Because I think the rotations, they have of course a lot of benefits. 2 forts, for example, are destroyed, but just look at the difference in minion experience. This really shows you that on the minion experience side, the lane experience, the blue team is doing a much better job. And this is what keeps them in play currently. This is what keeps them in a position where they can still turn this around. But losing 2 forts this early in the game at the 6-minute mark is obviously no joke. So very likely we're gonna see them take a significant lead, particularly if they're also able to get the second objective. There is a timer. There's definitely a timer at the potential comeback. Skogh's team, they need to do something. They really need to work around this a little bit. Level 10 is a huge threat. The gap is small, but it's there. So that could lead to a halftime show victory at least. And you would love to avoid that if you could. But yeah, that's what they gotta deal with now. Jojo is therefore still at the bottom of the map, has taken down another minion wave to grant them a bit more experience. Camps are now spawning and you can already see the difference. One team is going for it, the other one has abandoned it for now and is just poking or defending around the Immortal. And as I say, they actually move in and take their own. But yeah, level 10 is up. We get the massive shove, Divine Shield, armaments are in, Illidan. I mean, it is, after all, Darkmog. I'm opting for the Hunt. Not saying it's necessarily a better choice, but it's Darkmog. Let's go, Smork. So, Darkmog could go all in with this. He chickened out. He went for the sensible option. He went for Metamorphosis. Okay, so, once again, little jump. Oh, Bishop, safe. Oh, they try to go for Illidan. The light bomb didn't do enough, but Illidan, haha, Metamorphosis. And there's the top keg place. They try to go for Darkmog. They try to take Illidan down, but he gets away. Fat Illidan not able to lock him down here. Max Passion tried with Chen, but it didn't really work. And now at the top, yeah, this is about to be destroyed. It's not really a big issue here. One wall gets lost down at the bot lane. Still only the blue team that has lost something on the Immortals, so they're really struggling here. They are absolutely struggling on this. Now, we have them trying to keep Illidan alive. Sorry, Chen alive. Illidan still in the action, trying to work his ult cooldown a little bit. Same time now, obviously, still poking. Particularly when it comes to Chromie. She's looking for a kill. Couldn't find one thus far. Here comes the lurking arm. The double support doesn't make it any easier for Team Skogh. They have a problem there. Good stun in the backline this time. Maybe here's the chance with the X trying to go for Kelvin. But the 2 healers, they're still keeping everyone alive. Finally, Stukov has been eliminated. But they lost Chen too. And now it's Illidan just chasing them down. Nice. Gets into the stun, but they have to yield again. They have to move back. They finally took one of the 2 healers out, but it's not enough to do anything about it. So, yeah. And all the time, we have Sylvanas make these little moves where she just moves towards the side lane and starts taking out some structures, not even focusing on the main objective, which the halftime show obviously has now been won. Darkmog is coming in and is starting straight back up on the Immortal. I gotta say, this is looking great from Team Ultralisk. Much, much better. Totally the reversal of what happened in game number 1. They're dominating this game so far, start to finish. 3 kills to 1. Looking very good here. Big shield Immortal, so unless they're losing a few heroes here now, they're going to be in a great spot. Fantastic stun in the backline though. But Genji has the X-Strike again, is trying to put pressure onto Skogh. It's not going to be enough. Anduin, on the other hand, he's in trouble. Illidan trying to go in again, and Chen has to use his ult to create some space to help them to survive. And he's getting chased again. Illidan against Fat Illidan, and the original takes it. Illidan with a kill. Fair enough, had a little bit of help from Sylvanas here. But now that Chen is gone and they have level 13 talents on top of that, this is obviously a pretty massive push through the top where likely the keep is gonna fall. And we're only 10 minutes in, 2 forts gone, the keep about to get destroyed. They might even be able to get some damage on the core in. I'm not sure if they can take the entire thing down, not unless they get a kill or two here. But they are definitely... Look at Darkmog! Darkmog is just doing Darkmog things. He's like, I got this! Yeah, they lost Jojo. This is lights out. This looks like the end. Game number 2, a bit of a quickie here, honestly. Darkmog working it, and yeah, they're turning it. They forced the tie in the best of 5 series. So they take Battlefield of Eternity, put a point onto the board, and we're going to game number 3 with a 1-1 score in this best of 5. Nicely done. GG. Okay, good stuff. We have a tie. This means that we're guaranteed 4 games at a minimum. And again, 20 heroes can now not be played anymore because they have been played already. This, by the way, is exactly what I said earlier. Remember when we talked about banning Kerrigan? Now that we are playing on Infernal Shrines, now they ban Kerrigan. Because she gets so much more value on Infernal Shrines than she did on some of the previous maps, that they're just saying, okay, over here, we're going to get ban Kerrigan out. Personally, I wouldn't really be shocked if they are still banning Maiev. Stands to reason that Ultralisk would actually pick her. Now, you can obviously also pick her for yourself if you have first pick, first ban, which indeed they do. So we'll see how they're going to approach it. But they are waiting an awful long time for ban number 2. And they get rid of Hogger. Okay, so Hogger is banned, Lucio permaban currently. That leaves Maiev open. She could be taken on the side of Skogh. And yeah, let's see what we're doing with this. I'm actually really happy that Ultralisk's team dominated this hard on Battlefield, because I came in thinking, they already had a match, obviously, in the round robin. It was a 2-0. Skogh's team looks really good. Ultralisk had some trouble. So I was thinking we could get a full wipe, but no, far from it. We might actually go the distance on this one. Here's the Maiev pick. So, as explained previously, you can still take her for yourself. So they deny both of the heroes to the red team, but Ultralisk counters now with Medivh, which of course is going to let us focus on the baseline stacks again. But yeah, we'll see. I'm very, very curious now what we're going to get from particularly Ultralisk. Now, when we're thinking about Medivh and Leyline, you could go... I guess I could go Jaina. Diablo's gone, so there's no wombo that you can set up with this, but if you're looking for a potential wombo, then Jaina would be a choice. They got Leo in, they got Junkrat in on the blue team side, so a lot of poke from the outside of the shrine that they can utilize there too. But yeah, off we go. Ah, boy. Come on, what's it gonna be? They're getting a ban on Stitches. Stitches is a bit weird because Stitches has not nearly been played as much as I thought he would in the round robin. And then at the same time, we have him banned quite a few times. Against Medivh. I have to admit that I don't really understand why. Yes, you have Junkrat, there is a certain synergy with Stitches, but then again, you're playing against Medivh, who can set a portal up. So, I'm not 100% certain why exactly they're banning Stitches here. Because they have counterplay against Stitches. They can use portals to save the target. They can use the shield. There's a lot of tools that they could technically utilize against Stitches. So I'm not saying that Stitches doesn't add any value to the other side. Obviously he does. But given the Medivh pick, they have something to do against it. So we get Varian, we get Deckard Cain. Meaning that on the damage side, they really... First of all, Medivh needs to complete his quest so that he can get better numbers out for damage. Second, Lopak, we might actually get that Jaina pick that I've been talking about. If you go into an ICC chain with Varian leading the charge and the taunt, then yeah, you need a bit of burst behind this. So, then again, we got for the blue team the final 2 picks. And it's Malfurion ETC. Now this can work out really well, and it can also backfire horribly. If any of these guys are getting... Like, if you set portals up into the backline against Junkrat, Malfurion, or anyone else, then Varian can go for a quick taunt. So ETC needs to do a great job with portal control. And ETC is not bad with portal control. He has a lot of tools that can do that very well. But this could also backfire hard if those portals are working properly for them. We get Orphea. Okay, Schoolgirl is in the house, and we're going full coffin. Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3. One of the 2 teams is going to take the lead here. Let's find out which one it is. Game number 3. Here we are. Infernal Shrines is the map. Pretty cool drafts from both sides. A lot of the risks being taken there too. On the left side, we got Hunter Orc on Malfurion. We have Skogh on ETC. Bishops playing Maiev. Gavel on Junkrat. And Max Passion is playing Leoric. To the right, Team Ultralisk with the victory in Battlefield of Eternity, with Ultralisk himself playing Medivh. We got Darkmog on Blaze, Death Knight on Varian, Lopaka is playing Orphea, and we got Kelvin on Deckard Cain, the old man. Alright. So, block party on level 1, Emerald Dream. No crazy surprises here. Our eyes on the baseline for Medivh. This is going to be pretty crucial for them to make sure that they're gonna get that one completed. The cooldown reduction and the increased damage is pretty important. And already Ultralisk is already sitting there. Help! They take him down right away. Now, to be absolutely fair, obviously this doesn't really do a whole lot. How many stacks did he have? 2? So it doesn't matter too much just yet, but it's already setting the tone. They're already telling him, dude, you're not gonna have an easy game here. When we're gonna see you, we're gonna kill you. That's what's gonna happen. So, yeah, that was kind of funny. Max Passion at the top, he gets also killed, but he'll be back very quickly, and they are using that time to go for camps. So they actually try to steal the opponent's camp too after taking the neutral one at the bottom of the map. Not so sure if they got enough time here. I actually doubt it. It's a 4 versus 4. I don't think they want to fight this one, especially with the squishies that they have. Oh, well, they go for it, and he takes it! He gets the camp! Do they get out though? They might not get away with everybody. No, Maiev falls, but they got the camp as a result. Okay, and he's alive. And that just happened. Lopaka goes down. Nicely done. That was pretty cool. I like that. We have been outplayed completely, and it's not over yet. They're controlling the portal really nicely with both Junkrat and also ETC, so they net themselves 3 kills in total. That was pretty cool. Another quick look at that play. So here's where all of it starts, and he's trying to get away. He's trying to get out, and it's just not working. So yeah, a little bit unlucky. Well done though, and they are using all of the momentum that they have at the bottom of the map now to burst through that gate and through the towers. We get the Chaotic Assault, yeah, Chaos Rain for sure, and the Ancestor Strength on level 1, but really sweet plays here, so they do a good job controlling Medivh, at least for now. Portal control is everything. ETC power slide, everything that he brings to the table. Then Junkrat, of course, too, so you need to use it whenever you can. Ultralisk trying to deal with them a bit here. Not really possible for him, so all of the camps are essentially taken by the blue team. And they have, therefore, established a lead in experience. First objective is up at the top. Only one team, by the way, taking their camp. Now, it is a top lane objective. Therefore, yeah. This is what I meant earlier with the portal control. That is the big issue. If you have portal control and it's just not there. Like, if you have portal control, you can shut this down. But if, on the other hand, this portal comes out of nowhere and then the taunt is in, then whoever is the target will likely fall. So that's what we just saw in action from Team Ultralisk. So while the red team is sometimes struggling with all the tools that are being thrown against them, this is still something they can every now and then do properly. In this case, it also results very likely in them taking the objective. Now, I want to highlight another pick that they actually went for. So we're talking about controlling the portals with Junkrat, with ETC, but Malfurion, obviously, with the root is another tool that they have in their arsenal to do exactly that. And they're doing it right here. So once again, they get a kill. The schoolgirl is down again. Orphea is gone. And these are some actually really good plays that they're making. They're trying to take control of the shrine again. And you know what? This might just lend itself to a first objective for Team Skogh after all. After we had 27 stacks already taken from the red team, I really thought they would walk away with it, but far from it. Good control, good rotation, and the kill allow the blue team to likely claim number 1. We have 34 now. Leo still doing his thing. Yes, Malfurion has fallen, but he should still be able to take it. Needs only one more and he gets it. So now the support is gone, which is a bit annoying since you don't have any healer, you don't have any sustain. But you still have, yes, the jump, and this is starting to become a bit of a nuisance because now the Punisher himself is having a part in this action. Max Passion gets attacked again, might even fall, gets the drain through though, and takes down Blaze. So this is one kill, and there's another jump and kill. Leo falls, but they're not going to care about that. He's going to be back in just a couple of seconds right here. That fort is gone. Nice. Really cool fights now, and a very good coordinated play from the blue team as they're getting more and more value here. And Ultralisk is ultra dead. This is exactly what they needed to avoid, and they just couldn't make it happen. All the stacks are lost from Medivh. They got Kane. He dies too. That's level 10. They get another kill. This time, it's a blue team player that falls, so Maiev, she's the counter kill. But just check this one out. So this is the crucial point. He is sitting at 22 stacks, so a lot more now. Gets isolated by Junkrat here, and then they get an easy kill. All the stacks are lost, and as I highlighted previously, it is something that they really need to get because they are reliant on that extra damage and the cooldown reduction if they want to get kills through. They have so far only Orphea that can really help them here. But this is getting real dangerous now. It's a big setback for Medivh in particular. So, huge problem. And we also have Twilight Dream. So, they're not even going for sustain here. They're really, really working now with their ults to try and section off parts of the red team as best as they can in these fights. It's a 1-level lead. 8 kills to 6 though. So, should at least highlight that. It's not like the red team doesn't get any kills. Maiev is a big target for them, and so is Leo. Even though for Leo it's not really a big problem. But yeah, 10,000 damage for Orphea. And 13,000 on Junkrat. Yeah, Orphea is getting some alright numbers out. Nothing crazy just yet, but if played properly, she can of course hit hard. And yeah, in the meantime, we have Leo chasing down Blaze in the middle, trying to make a play for him. Bottom of the map though, okay, yeah, still doing their thing. Another taunt and also the follow-up from Deckard Cain, but that fort is also low. Leo still pushing out the top side. They're losing a lot of infrastructure very quickly. Top fort gone, mid fort damaged, bottom fort wide open and nearly destroyed. So tons on tons of damage coming in now against structures from Team Skogh. They're doing this very nicely. So we got again a bit of poke from the outside here. Top side, still the 1v1 between Blaze and Leo. Really be a problem for him either. Next objective is also in the middle. So if the blue team takes it again, taking a fort down is more or less guaranteed. There's level 13, they got the lead. Yeah, again, Junkrat with good follow-ups, and the disc is out too. Gets the trap in. They're trying to go for Orphea. Trapped already. They're creating some space. Riptire, protected, plays around it, and takes her down. And the mosh pit right after that. Beautiful plays. Beautiful plays. Beautiful kills. It's a triple, baby. They get 3 kills here. And it started off with a very nice isolation of Orphea. And yeah, they're just absolutely crushing it right now. That mosh pit was, of course, fantastic. But yeah, Orphea gets killed. Mosh pit is in. They got Leo in the rotation. And they can easily take down Medivh, who again lost his stacks. And also they got Kayn. So Medivh is now once again reset back to 0. Not a good game for him. Really struggling to get any value out of this. And of course, with them destroying all of the forts, every single one, that means that there's no fountain in the middle of the map anymore that the red team can rely upon. Whereas there's still plenty of fallback options for Team Skogh. So they come in, even with a level 13 talent, and can make their play again. Both teams now with level 13 gives us the enduring will. He's gonna need a lot of that, honestly, because with how many times he now got reset back to 0, if he doesn't have the will to endure, then he's gonna commit Sudoku before you can blink. So yes, Medivh, he really needs to take a deep breath right now and just endure through all of it. It's not an easy game for him whatsoever. So an aptly named talent that he picks here. And this is of course the only reason why he takes it. Didn't even look at what it does. Leo goes down, so they are still getting some value, 21 to 16. But Varian... Careful. Death Knight makes it out. Yeah, maybe they can win this one. 2-level lead nearly for Team Skogh, by the way. Yeah, nearly 2 levels ahead now. But they're trying to come back in with Maiev. Okay, Leo back in 10. Still playing around Ultralisk a bit too. Oh boy, this might get a bit closer than I thought. Yeah, blue team is looking for kills. And they have them low. They got them all real low. Look at Orphea. She gets completely zoned out by Leoric. Mosh pit is in. They got the Arcane Punisher, but Medivh gets killed again. Loses another 10 stacks or so. Deckard Kayn is gone. That's 13 kills to 7. And it's the blue team that got the Punisher. For a second, I really thought it was Ultralisk that at least got the objective, but no, they don't get the objective. They lose 3 heroes, and oh my god, this is just rough. This is really tricky. Seems like Skogh's team got fairly annoyed losing game number 2. So yeah, now they want to take the lead again. Blaze gets killed as well. And it's just a bloodbath all of a sudden. The longer this game goes, the more momentum Team Skogh is building up, and they are crushing it. Portal control from all their heroes here. Varian still makes it through, but they had to abandon this keep, and right now the only question is, yeah, blue team plays it safe. Even with level 16, they're just saying, alright, you know what, boys, let's not push it, let's not go for the core right away. We can still start to open the top lane up a bit and maybe go for the keep here, but let's not go core. If we have trouble moving back, then yeah, we're gonna have a tough time. They try for another kill though. Death Knight is already low. Orphea with a bit of damage. I mean, she's hitting hard here. She's currently at 24,000 damage. Varian, on the other hand, is very close too. The new viewers here, always assuming they have some, they might not know why Orphea actually hits that hard. It's very easily explained. In her coffin, she has all the hopes and dreams of the heroes of the Storm esports scene. So that thing is insanely heavy. It's insanely heavy. Blizzard just took all of this and dumped it into her coffin and buried it, and she dug the coffin out, and now she can just like hit shit with it. And because that thing is so heavy, it just murders absolutely. So yeah, Orphea definitely hitting hard there, but not hard enough to get a lot of kills in. Maybe now on Maiev and Bishops. He gets away. Gets away. The Riptire zones them a bit further. They're still sieging up here. That talent lead makes it so much easier, of course. And once again, a quick boop and a stun as they're going for Death Knight, and he's gone. Varian, no chance. No chance. No more portals in this case from Medivh. Was still on cooldown. He's back to 11 stacks, by the way, so Ultralisk is not giving up. He's still trying. But yeah, they're doing what they can at the top. Malfurion. Hearthing back. You got a lot of camps to take here. They're getting closer and closer to level 20 as well, which is of course one of the main goals here too. So we've got the Showstopper in on level 16, the Moonlit Harmony, and yeah, Skogh goes for... they're getting all of these camps. Easy. 12 now for Medivh. Level 16, that gives us also the stable portal. That's actually pretty big. I mean, again, now they have more of a chance to play around all the portal control that the blue team can throw their way. So this is an opportunity to maybe get some more use out of all of this. So yeah, we'll see. But then again, there's the disc. They go for Varian, or they try to. Root is out at the portal too. Bit of a short distance one. Oh, the ley line. They really want Maiev, don't they? They want Bishops. There's the taunt, and Bishop still gets out. They really hate her. I don't really blame them. It's a hero that Ultralisk would have loved to pick, and keep in mind, he got picked away. Like, Maiev got picked away by the blue team on the first slot because they knew that Ultralisk would very likely go for an early pick on her too. It was the only game thus far in the series where they did not ban Maiev. And considering that every hero can only be played once, they're also not going to ban her again. But yeah. Well, the quick portal is already coming in. Level 20 any moment now. And Leo has put pressure onto that top keep. Yeah, this one is likely going to fall. With the catapult in the mix as well, if they don't send somebody back to deal with that situation, that keep is going to fall for sure. So, yeah, they're sacrificing it. They go up against an opponent that has now level 20 talents. Storm talents are in, and that makes all of this, of course, so much more dangerous. But the top keep is already gone. There's a bit of a Hail Mary from Team Ultralisk. They know they're in a shitty spot where they're also talent behind, but they're trying to do what they can. Here comes ETC, and, well, he gets some value out of his ult, but he also dies. So ETC is dead. 16 kills, 2-8. The red team is actually winning this fight. Despite the fact that they don't have a level 20 talent, they are winning this fight currently. So this is maybe a chance to bring this back a bit. Yes, there are a couple of minions and winions on the core, but I don't think they're going to lose too much there. But the battle isn't over yet. The disc is out. They're trying to get a kill. Ultralisk! He's again low! But Leo might fall to this, and indeed does. Varian has been taken down too, though. And Darkmok also falls. So does the shield on the red team's core, by the way. But very slowly. Now Gavlo is down. Oh, it's an absolute bloodbath. They're turning the shrine into a graveyard here. One hero after another is getting killed. Catapults now also pushing through the middle. Actually, the core is going to start to be in real trouble here. If those catapults make it to the core with the shield not just now slowly regenerating and another catapult coming through the top lane, they're going to be in real trouble. There's catapults everywhere at this point. Yeah, but is there going to be another kill? Disc out again. Another disc that they're already throwing in. And it is Medivh that is gone. Medivh is gone. And now the catapults are doing real damage to the core. Another one coming through the top. Over here, they got it down to 93. The Winions are taking it down. Orphea dead. And that is another objective for the red team. And another kill since they are taking Deckard Cain down. Khazra is a little bit disappointed here. No rhythm apparently. They're not dancing at all. But now they can go for that victory in game number 3. I would be more than shocked to see the red team make a comeback here. At this point, you've lost 7% on your core already. Your mid lane is getting pressured. More catapults are coming in. More camps too. At the bottom of the map, your opponent is already aiming for the keep. Don't even have to. 2 heroes are dead for more than 20 seconds. This is looking like an absolute disaster for them. I mean, just look at the amount of deaths on Medivh in particular. 5 times has he fallen. 5 deaths on Orphea and on Deckard Cain too. Another buried alive. He hits Blaze. He's dead. And so are their hopes to win this game. So, we are heading into game number 4 with a lead on the side of the blue team. They take Infernal Shrines. So 2 wins to 1 right now. Still a chance for Team Ultralisk to bring it back with 2 wins in a row. But it's going to be match point now for Team Skogh after this victory. Tomb of the Spider Queen, game number 4. So guys, we got the first match point in this particular best of 5 for Team Skogh, and they did a great job on Infernal Shrines. Fantastic performance from Bishops in particular with Maiev, but the entire team coming together, controlling the portals, Medivh with his roots, Malfurion with the roots. You had, of course, Maiev, ETC, some slides, Junkrat. They controlled it really well. Now this can backfire again if the portals are being set up a bit differently and there's quick kills through variants stepping into the portal, getting a taunt out. A bit different, but they played it really nicely here. Now that we're going into Tomb of the Spider Queen, they're keeping it up with the Kerrigan ban. So previously they got Maya for themselves by first picking her, but in this case what they're trying to do is of course eliminate some of the options that Ultralisk had. Now this is the 4th game, therefore 30 heroes cannot be played again, all 30 that have been played before. Plenty of options still available. But Sajnema gets banned out, and now we get Death Knight with Stitches. I personally still love to go for the globe stacking on level 1 when you're on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The first time that I actually saw that played in a long game on Tomb of the Spider Queen was in the course of a Meta Madness tournament. And it was just brilliant to see Stitches walk around in the late game with a hit point pool that nobody in any way, shape or form could contest. It was always insanely funny. Skogh actually back then played the hero. And we get Rexa! Okay, Misha is in. So... Rexa on the off lane. I mean, again, have seen her on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Even outside of this, you can only play every hero once context. But they got a Nubarak too, so for me it's more so a question of what we're getting in regards to mages, since I would assume that they are going to pick some, and it's Jaina over Gul'dan. Ooh, and Tyrande. We're going old school. Yeah, they go Tyrande Stitches, so hook into stun. Still on the fence about Tyrande, honestly. She is very, very hit or miss. Like, either things flow perfectly for you and it looks great, or you're just getting destroyed. So the thought behind it is obviously there. It's something that has been played even in the early development stages of Heroes of the Storm. Stitches hook into Tyrande, stun, into Hunter's Mark, into burst damage from Jaina, equals dead hero. So they're trying to go for quick kills through that. Tyrande, on the other hand, she's squishy, and she doesn't have a lot of tools that help her to get away, so that means that if you get to her, she's just toast. And that is the big danger here. That she just gets farmed. You have to be spot on with your positioning if you want to have a chance there. So, ban on Mephisto, Sonya was technically still available and gets banned too. No follow-up stunned with a quick leap here. But how is the blue team going to counter this now? On the mage side, Gul'dan again would be a good pick. And there it is, Gul'dan, and we get Auriel with it. A lot of hope. My eyes are glued to Darkmook. I want to see what Darkmook is now doing. Because he is usually a bit of a wild card as well. So interesting to see him go just completely off on some kind of assassin again. Li Ming and Deathwing. Alright, so Li Ming, Deathwing. Final 2 picks in game number 4. Match point for Team Skogh. This is, of course, we are in the semifinals of the winner bracket. There is a loser bracket, so if you lose here, you are not out of the tournament. You drop down into the losers bracket. And what are we getting for bishops? Last but not least, great performance with Maiev on the last map. This time it's gonna be Thrall. Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. Game number 4. Alright, off we go. Skogh on Anubarak in game number 4. We got bishops on Rexa, Gavlon, Gul'dan. Huntork is playing Auriel. We got Max Passion on Thrall. Toronto, the blue team. On the right side, Death Knight with Stitches. We got Darkmook on Jaina. Ultralisk on Li Ming, Kelvin on Tyrande, and Lopaka is playing Deathwing. So, let's go. Rexa and Misha already united. Misha obviously also super powerful here. Also a bear of culture. Do you know who Misha's favorite poet is? Shakespeare! Alright, okay, I know that was a little bit embarrassing. But either way. Bear with me here. So, down to the bottom of the map, we got Ultralisk with Li Ming. So they're actually setting this up a little bit differently here, at least in the early game. We should get some Deathwing pretty soon here. Level 1, we get the Legion of Beetles. We also got Fell build for Gul'dan, so we're not going into the stacking here. We got the Searing Light, and we get some stacks also for Tyrande with the Lunar Blaze, Patchwork Creation for Stitches, so I'm gonna work a bit more around the heals there. And with that now, down to the bottom of the map, finally we have that particular lineup that we expected there between Deathwing and Thrall. So those are the ones that they're currently trying to set up for the one-on-one lane. And there is that hook. Yeah, no stun follow-up, at least not quickly enough. That's the problem when you're running this Tyrande and Stitches combo. You really need to have Tyrande ready for a stun whenever Stitches throws out a hook. So coordination and communication in particular has to be really on point here, so that she has A, the cooldown ready, and B, also trusts Stitches to hit that hook, or it might be a little bit of a problem there. But they're also going for the side pressure here with camps. It's actually only the blue team that has taken their camp very early, so they're already attempting to push through the middle before the red team even had an opportunity to take their own camp, and they will get that chance. So they can use that to try and break that wall down. Skogh's team has done a fantastic job on the last map to get an easy victory, and they're going to try this again from the get-go to just push for structures, take them down early, dominate that rotational play too, and then get their turn-ins as well. Haven't seen a kill yet, of course, still a little bit too early for that, but yeah, let's see. Misha taking a little bit of a break over here apparently, and is moving up towards the top, so okay. Do you know, by the way, why bears don't wear shoes? Because they prefer to go barefoot. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to get used to those. Somebody was actually complaining the other day that I'm not really on point when it comes to my bear pun game, and I was just like, you know what? You might be right. We gotta step it up a little bit. Just a little bit. So, well, but in the middle, I mean, they got some value, right? They got the tower down, they got the gate down. The counter pressure, though, is not really going to do too much here for them. So maybe a kill now. They're going for Jaina. They got close. There's the stun. Could get the follow-up. Darkmock low, and he still gets out. Nice. All right. Skogh, at the same time, though, is now all of a sudden the one that they're trying to take on, and he gets a few heals, is able to get away. And while all of this is raging on, Max Passion is not only collecting gems, but he's also taking camps. So he comes in, takes him very quickly. Rexa now up at the top, and yeah, they're trying to go for Darkmock here. Stuns are coming in, and can they get Death Knight? That's a lot of hit points on Stitches. Instead of Nubarak falls, and now with the hook they're also hoping to get maybe Gavlo. But oh, the stun into the wall, nice! Ultralisk nearly dead here. Quest completed also for Gul'dan, but job well done. They kept everybody alive. I thought they would at least lose one here. So yeah. Up at the top, Misha's ready with Rexa. And I know, you think that a lot of these bear puns have been absolutely unbearable, but please bear with me here for just a second. It's not like I'm making stupid jokes the entire time here. So, yeah, would never do that to you guys. Alright, not never, but you know what I mean, right? I'll keep it at the bare minimum. Death Knight, and yep, talking about minimum, he is running out of hit points and running out of hit points very quickly. So yeah, he's gone, and that is the counter kill. So finally Stitches has been taken down, and that's also an immediate objective for the blue team. So they're looking pretty good here with the first Web Weaver wave, and they've already done structural damage. I mean, the mid lane has been opened up more or less completely. The same is true at the bottom of the map, so they can go straight for those forts, is what I'm essentially trying to say here. They are doing a great job with just like this bit of poke before they're getting the first objective wave, and now they have it in. They also have a chance to snowball this towards level 10, and if they do that, it will be a totally different push that they can use here. Now, while this is going on, they got at the bottom of the... Actually, at the top is where the biggest push is now happening right now. At the bottom of the map, we still have a 1 versus 1 that they're playing out with. And I guess if nobody helps Ultralisk out, then this top fort is gone. So they are getting insane value here. Finally, the mid lane defense is over, so they can now go into the top side and help them. Because this bad boy was already pretty low, but down here, there is just no saving the structure anymore. Deathwing has to make sure that he gets out, but with just a little... Well, actually, they're going to save this, at least for now. Just a sliver of hit points, but still. So, yeah, there's that. Now, while they are getting that fort, eventually, Thrall is currently working on it. Level 10 forced the red team back. So there's a half-level lead that really helps them to now control that point even more. But yeah, we'll actually see. Oh boy. Can they go for that? They might force the issue here a little bit too much. Misha is gonna get that stun. Yes, helping hand didn't really connect. But Misha is gone. Oh, that's an unbearable situation for Rexa. It was really difficult to find someone with the right qualifications. So Misha now has to look for, or Rexa has to look for another bear. But he is a grizzled veteran and should be able to, you know, find people that can help him out there. I'm actually predicting that it's only taking a few more seconds. And just look at this, he already found a replacement. So yeah. Kill for a kill, level 10 is in, still working on the next turn. And they actually have enough gems for another turn. It's actually impressive when you think about it. So yes, there's a little bit of interrupt attempts, but Hunter Orc has now turned in too, so they're only 9 short of another one. And I gotta say that getting this quickly 2 turn-ins in a row is pretty unprecedented. You don't see that happen a whole lot. So they did a great job on it. Now, of course, there's also a lot of gems in the hands of Team Ultralisk, but the prick... Oh, nice! They get the hook. Ah, but the stun was already used, so he should be fine. Gets even the Aegis pushed on him. Ring, everything dodged out on. Very well done. So that's a lot of abilities that went straight up into nowhere. And Lopaka dies. Deathwing turns into Deadwing. And Death Knight himself might... Actually, they're going for Ultralisk first. But Death Knight, too, is having a bit of a problem and is now hooking even more problems closer to him. So there's the lockdown from not only Nubarak, but also Thrall. Goodbye, Stitches. Actually, can they take Stitches down? Yes, they can. And now they take down Tyrannus. And you know what that means? That means that a lot of the gems are now lost to the red team. This is exactly the situation that you're trying to avoid. You lose 3-4 heroes and all of your gems are gone. All of your structures are falling at the same time. It's 5 kills to 1. Your opponent locks in a level 13 talent and they are just brutalizing this. So you could say that the red team is trying to find their bearings here. But they don't have a lot of time to make it happen. Because we are 8.5 minutes in and they're starting to lose the first scheme. That's where we're at right now. That's how bad this is. They got absolutely slaughtered in that last fight, and usually your gems are your ticket back into the game, and they lost that nearly completely. You gotta realize these guys haven't turned in a single gem yet. Not one. And they only hold 27, which is roughly the same amount that we're seeing for the blue team, but the blue team already had 2 turn-ins. So, a bit bonkers. But here comes the flank. Yep, they're trying to go again for Ultralisk. He doesn't stand a chance. Oh my god. Aegis being used. Skogh gets saved. And they're still looking for a second kill. And Lopaka with a superhero landing did not do himself any favor. So he's gone. Misha with another attack. There's the Horrify. Bye-bye Stitches. He doesn't stand a chance. Goodbye, and that is also the end of the keep at the bottom of the map. It's 8 kills to 1, and they're just taking them down where they find them. So this keep is gone, and we are only 10 minutes in. Only 10 minutes! This might be the end of the first best of 5 in the playoffs. This is looking fantastic for Skogh and his boys. They are taking also the fort down at the top. This one will be destroyed too. Skogh himself making sure that he takes all of it, and yeah, it's like, this is tough. They're also... I mean, they're starting to get closer to a 3rd turn-in than the red team gets to their first. they are, of course, at least I hope so, now trying to finally go for it. Yeah, it's at least even talents, but not for long, because level 16 is closing in. So they gotta deliver as quickly as they can now. Darkmook in particular, with the 27 that he's holding, so yeah, he gets rid of them. They are Hail Mary plays right now. They are just looking at anything that could possibly bring them back into this game, and they're risking whatever they have to give themselves a little bit of an advantage, because things are bad enough as is. So yes, up at the top, they try to go for the boss. 16 is nearly there, so they gotta abandon this. The whole idea was, of course, to sneak this in without anybody noticing, but yeah. Once again, Rexa gets gobbled up. Yeah, there's the Ring of Frost, and again, Aegis is denying a lot here. Didn't even have to be used. Jaina instead gets killed. We now have Death Knight just murdered by Hunter Orc, who's just getting that whip out time and time again and hitting hard. That's the end of Deathwing, so now they have 3 heroes that they just annihilated. The core is already getting attacked by a camp down at the bottom. They chase Tyrande down, and now they just don't know what to kill first. Are they going in the middle and try and take the keep down there? Are they going to the top and try to take that? They're splitting their forces a little bit. There's Siege Giants and Catapults on the core, which is now at 88%. They don't even have to go for these keeps. They can just go straight for the core. And Gavlo is already trying to take down those minions. They go again for Jaina. Goodbye. And well, that's it. I mean, they can try and struggle a little bit more, but this is pretty much ending the game. There's no recovering from this. That would be the comeback of... this would be the craziest comeback I've ever seen in this game. And we've seen some crazy shit. So with 14 kills to 2, the core at 50% and 2 keeps destroyed, it's safe to say that Team Skogh is going to move on to the winner bracket final. And Team Ultralisk will have to try again in the losers bracket. GG, well played, and a well-deserved and very dominant victory here by Team Skogh. Nicely done, GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.